What is Deed of Extra-Judicial Settlement? A deed of extrajudicial settlement is a legal document used in the Philippines to formalize the distribution of a deceased person's estate among their heirs without going through the courts. This is applicable when there is no will, intestate succession, or when all the heirs agree on how the estate should be divided. The term extrajudicial means that the settlement is done outside of court, saving time and costs associated with a formal judicial process. Key features of a deed of extrajudicial settlement. Purpose: the deed is executed to divide the deceased's estate among the heirs after their death. It is used when the estate has no disputes, and all heirs are in agreement about the division of assets. 2. Eligibility: the heirs must be the legal children, spouse, or other legal heirs of the deceased. The estate should be settled without a will, or in cases where all heirs are in agreement. If the deceased left a will, but there are no disputes over the distribution, the deed can also be used. 2. Eligibility: content of the deed. The deed of extrajudicial settlement generally includes title and introduction, names of the deceased, heirs, and a statement that the heirs have agreed to settle the estate. Details of the deceased's estate, description of the properties, real estate, bank accounts, investments, etc., to be divided among the heirs. 2. Eligibility: content of the deed. The deed of extrajudicial settlement generally includes title and introduction, names of the deceased, heirs, and a statement that the heirs have agreed to settle the estate. Details of the deceased's estate, description of the properties, real estate, bank accounts, investments, etc., to be divided among the heirs. Signatures of the heirs: all heirs must sign the deed, acknowledging their agreement to the division. Required documents: death certificate of the deceased, certified true copy. Proof of heirship: documents proving the relationship of the heirs to the deceased, such as birth certificates, marriage certificates, or an affidavit of heirship. Title to property: copies of the property titles or documents for real estate owned by the deceased. Tax clearance: a certification from the Bureau of Internal Revenue, BIR, indicating that estate taxes have been paid or are not due. Proof of payment of estate taxes, if applicable, payment receipts for the estate tax return. Notarization: the deed of extrajudicial settlement must be notarized to be legally valid. This means that all the heirs need to sign the deed in the presence of a notary public. Filing with the Registry of Deeds: after notarization, the deed of extrajudicial settlement must be filed with the Registry of Deeds for real property, if any real estate is involved in the estate. The title of the property may need to be updated in the names of the heirs.